Welcome, Mr. Great, with Captain NoStash. Today, I have tales of adventure for you. Me and my trusty sword have an adventurous tale before you. First, our tale begins with our beloved Crab Man. That's why he's here. I'm already wearing a hat. I need somebody to wear the hats. So it was me and the Crab Man here. We were off in the high seas, searching for our next victim. Pillage, plunder. Along the way, we met an owl friend. Nine or six? I got wording here. I guess he goes this way. Our owl friend. We just called him Owlie. We weren't very creative. But then we found the fancy ones. Their fanciness bugged us. Told us they may have loot for looting. I sent the Crab Man do some prep work with Owlie. And I humbly guided us near the fancies. As we approached the fancies, they were well aware we were pirates, but they were chill. They weren't sure what we were up to. No, I thought it was pretty obvious. Think I'm there to be your friend? Think again. Think again. Now, I befriended them. We were chatting, having a grand old time. Guess what? They had this guy named JayBacca. They had this super cool dude there with a super cool hat. Had this crazy looking hair. So I maneuvered just talking to him, finding out what he knew about these fancy folk. Turns out he was one of the fancy folk. So we were just sitting there chatting. He asked about my trusty blade. And I said, "You want to see what it can do?" He said, "Sure." So I took him. And I threw him overboard, because I'm not a slicer or dicer. I throw people overboard. I'm a mutineer. I mutinied my own captain. Where do you think this hair came from? It's not mine. It's his. It was his. I took it in the mutiny. Ha! But after I threw that guy overboard, dragon appeared. Of course, Owlie and the Crab Man were nowhere to be found. So I took my trusty blade and I fought. Fortunately for me, he did not have fire breath, so I don't have to worry about that. But he did have claws. Got me a few times. Got me here, got me there. But anyway, we fought a good fight. In the end, I also threw him overboard because, again, I'm not a bloodthirsty, villainous pirate. I'm a simple pirate. I like me treasure. So after those two were thrown overboard, I called Crably back. Actually, no. At this point, Crably's plan was in place. Him and Owlie I never know which way this guy's upright or, I don't know. He's just funky cool looking, you know? You good, Owlie? Cool. So Owlie and Crabman, which, I mean, think about it, it's a match made in hell. One wants to eat the other, typically, generically, traditionally, but they work together. And I was chatting up the fancies while the two of them were off sneaking around. The fancies were well aware of their presence. They knew I wasn't alone, but I didn't have a huge crew, so that was my crew. So I was just chatting them up, being all fun and friendly. They were just the soury. Crabman was the soury one. Ollie was friendly as hell. But yeah, they snuck away with quite some goods. To this day, I do not know what they did with those goods. So I guess I should technically say they claimed they got away with some pretty good goods. But yeah, I just chatted up with them, partied with the fancies, and we ate, partied, they were celebrating. And then the next morning I was off, they were gone. I think that they never came back for their loot, even though they were some pretty tough looking fancies. Maybe they couldn't afford to come after me. I had to get back to the fancy pants lifestyles. So thus, me, Crabman, and Ollie went on with our lives, sailing the seven seas. Mutinying and throwing overboard, because again, I'm not a bloodthirsty fool. Anybody who dared cross us. It's the only thing I truly can claim. This head I mutinied, the hat I mutinied, this sword I forged. Oh, guy, I paid it, I bought it, okay? I can't make a sword. Do you see me? You think I can make a sword? I'm a captain. I don't make things. I sail the seven seas. My boys. Okay? So, that's what we did. Set off. Off on to our next adventure. Alright, well, that's the story, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Potatoes. Captain No Beard.